Good morning. This is the crypto day morning. Today's date, Saturday, 13th day of October, 2018. Welcome to the Money Charts channel. All trades, bets, and of the like within one's own risk and reward. I'm going to start this off by showing my watch list in alphabetical order. And within Bitcoin, the Bitstamp exchange in at 61.97. That is what is on the screen. On Coinbase, it's the same, 91.50 or 61.95.98, so a differential of $1 That's the way it's supposed to be. And there's going to be situations where markets go up and down, and there's going to be a lot of it, or the majority of the movements, coming from one of the exchanges. So assuming this goes up and it comes from Coinbase, this could very easily go up to 6,600, where this only goes up to 65. But as time settles in, it will always work out to where it's pretty much the exact same. The art of arbitrage is a good reason for such. Now this one here, the market's going to probably look exactly or practically around the same, and it does. And this is Bitfinex, and at 63.13. So a differential of about 120 almost. That's 2% differential amongst the two exchanges. From what I hear, you cannot deposit funds. I don't know if you can withdraw fiat currency. I don't even think you could be able to withdraw Bitcoin, because if you sell it here, then buy it here, and then send it to Bitfinex over and over and over again, but the arbitrage cannot work, or else, of course, this price would pretty much be the same as the other ones. And if you're unfamiliar with what an arbitrage is, that is buying and selling at the same time. So an example here would be buying a hair under 62 and selling a hair over 63. Now the reason why I also got this up is to show the net changes. Markets close at 8 o'clock and start new percentile numbers. It's 8:52 a.m. so this is the last almost 13 hours. The biggest losers, and there isn't too many. Theta against Binance Coin is at the bottom of this list at negative 1/3%. NPXS, a 23 Satoshi coin, down 4%. That's only one unit, so you can't put much into the 4% move. THC, very low volume coin, in at 354. We can see a buyer came in on NXPS up 24. Now it's even. So there's one move makes it 4%. Nano down 1 3/4. Loom down 1 2/3. Veritcoin 1.5. Litecoin against Ethereum. That's like, okay, well, Ethereum's outperforming it right now, but not by much. Gigabyte down 1 1/3. VeChain down almost 1. And then you got the gold and silver stuff. Well, this is gold. Gold silver ratio. Gold against the Canadian dollar. But as far as the up movers, we got the Cyber Miles up 8% against Binance Coin and 10% against the dollar and Bitcoin. So now I know Binance Coin's up 2%-ish against Bitcoin, although I don't see it right now on the top. EVX up 5, AppCoin up 4.5, Tron up almost 4. So these percentage numbers are bigger. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to remove this most likely, because this is against the tether. So I'm probably going to have no choice but to put the Coinbase one up later on. I don't trade this against the dollar, but I like to see what the price is against such. Okay, so let's remove this. And I only have one subject I want to talk about. And within this, it's just in the sideways mode. So, I mean, it's pretty clear the key resistance is about 64.20 on the non-Bitfinex price and the non-Tether price, because Tether is working the same way as well. So it's a couple percentage points higher. But it has a similar looking pattern. So not much to go over here. Daily time frame. Oh, this indecision of being in the 18 average. It has made its move. And yet it has. But indecisiveness, oh, it ain't over yet, because this is just a daily term time frame. So it is broken down below that level of resistance, and it had a decent sized leg lower to a previous key area of support. So now what's the next play? Well, we see the 1 hour time frame. It's got to settle in to even consider that. But as far as the longer term and the indecisiveness, I like horizontal rays. I'm going to put another one in on the February lows. So therefore, the April Fool's bottom in Bitcoin was a decent, noticeable pierce above the previous low. After the April Fool's rally ended and it came back down, bottoming in June, it pierced below this line, but that's all it was, is a pierce below. Technically lower low, but in my book, matching low with a pierce below. So obviously, every single rally has manifested a lower high. This level of support at the early part of August, same thing, finding support at that level, another lower high, and noticeable pierce above, and just staying within the band because it really can't do much more in making lower highs at this stage. So as this band has gotten really small and is barely trying to decline, but I mean it's flat in my book. Price action has went below it, but it's now got to do something about taking out this level of support and most likely a decent move below it on a bearish level. And on a bullish level, it's got several highs to get over. And I'll go through each of the numbers, with the third one being where I start to give it importance. Getting above 67.88, then getting above 73 2/3, then getting above 85 1/3. And that's one I want to see it get above to start to say, okay, it looks like we're moving into that of a longer term bull market. And then we have this high in about almost 10,000. High before that, about 11,800. Before that, about 17,000. And before that is 20,000. So 3 outcomes, that being one of them, the bull market run, of course, breaking down below here. It can still make a neutral pattern as well. And a neutral pattern is that of matching lows and matching highs. It's not making matching highs right now. So it's got to develop that level of resistance, which is why I find it very important to get above this. Because if it goes into a neutral range, I would expect the neutral range, if this is a support area here at 5, to be between this, like, well, when I say 5, I should say 6. 5,800 to... I would expect the resistance to be somewhere around here if it becomes a neutral level, somewhere around the little over 8,000, because there's what other options are there for a decent leg lower and decent leg higher, and that's just neither, and that would be neutrality back and forth doing neither. So that's the area, again, I would think is be resistance. I still can't throw out the possibility that maybe this thing does have a leg lower, but not quite to say the 6,000. And it could technically become neutral with support at 4,800 and resistance at around 6 or 6,400, 6,700. Those are always possibilities as well. I wish I could say for sure, oh, I know this is going to happen. And I've thought about in the past about, oh, Back to the Future time machine. Why don't I go back to 1952, go to August, September, go to places like New York, Chicago, and buy baseball cards, because a pack of those today from 1952 is a pristine high price. Or if I can get the internet from, say, a day from now, a week from now, a month from now, oh, I can look at prices of the markets, I can look at sports scores, lottery numbers, but who's got the crystal ball that actually works? For me, I know how my strategy works and how the mathematics works. I know that if I sell something for a 10% gain, that the value will increase 10%. And just understanding those simple maths, if I lose 5%, then I'm going to lose 1/20th. Simple math. So the strategy that I use when markets go down, I buy, up I sell. I'm playing the math on that game that as long as the markets, long term, it can have however down moves it wants, and I actually look forward to some of them within my strategy. But if it goes back up after the fact and I stay in the market, keep on trading back and forth within the system, it's going to work. If it chops back and forth neutrality, that is profitable. And of course, any bull market is profitable as well too. What loses amongst my strategy when I see prices go down, so an example here, oh, let's buy Bitcoin at 5,000. If it buys, I'm going to put a sell order in at 58. And then if I get a buy order at 38, I'm going to put a sell order in at, say, 51 or 52. I have a sell order maybe in now at 78, and if it sells, I'm going to buy that back at 6,000. That kind of stuff there. And that is the method in which I pretty much trade everything. Some coins trade a little differently than others, and some coins trade exactly the same. As an example of stuff like, say, EVX, anything against Bitcoin like Decred, Omi's Go, not Ethereum because I got a larger sample size of such, but just a like ELF. They trade exactly the same. They're always worth the exact same as far as US dollar or Bitcoin value. Well, pretty much anyway. And that is it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.